Hello everybody, today I am back with another video. Today I'll be doing a video on the top 5 best Republican nominees for Republicans in 2024, the top 5 most electable nominees, people who I think have the best shot at winning. I'll be doing the 5th best to the best, and then obviously everyone else is not included, but these are the top 5 who I think have the greatest shot, and then number 1 obviously being the one with the absolute greatest shot at becoming the president if they won and if they were the nominee in 2024. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 5, Kayleigh Mcenany. She obviously made a big name for herself as Donald Trump's press secretary. I believe she succeeded. I mean, she did succeed Sarah Sanders. I'm not sure what year she was. Obviously, now commentating. I think she hosts a show on Fox News now. So, obviously, still trying to stay in the mainstream, still trying to be a recognized figure. And she has that electable feeling to her. She has the press secretary under her belt. Obviously, she's well recognized. She has that mainstream name. I think she'll be very, she'll be very electable and presentable to suburban women mostly. She has a very good appeal to suburban women. That's the word that I meant. Obviously, also as a Christian, she does have an evangelical appeal, similar to Pence, except I do think she actually branches out a little bit more than Pence. She's very poised. Obviously, very, very smart and can obviously hand herself in debate. And I do think that she is a very electable candidate at number 5. Obviously not the most, but obviously she's very young still. I think she's 32 years old. So by 2024, she'll be old enough to be president at least, but obviously still very young. And that is one of the disadvantages for her. But anyway, number 5, Kayleigh Mcenany. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know who she is. So anyway, let's go on to number 4. That's Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina. She was the ambassador to the United Nations under Donald Trump. So another one under the Trump administration. A lot of these people are going to be tied to Donald Trump because that's the new administration. He was the former head of the Republican Party. Obviously, continues up until this day. It's pretty much acknowledged. But anyway, Nikki Haley, a former ambassador to the United Nations, former governor of South Carolina. She has a Southern appeal. She has a suburban women appeal. And I do think that will help. I think that she could win back Georgia for Republicans, win back Arizona for Republicans, win Texas by a larger margin, Florida. I don't think she'll do as well as in the Rust Belt, but with the trend going more to the right, she could pick off a state like Wisconsin. And if she wins Arizona and Georgia and all the other toss-up states and picks off Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, she's the president. So I do think she has a really good shot, maybe a little bit better than McEnany because McEnany really hasn't been into elective office yet. Haley has been there. She has more experience. She's a bit older. She would probably do a little bit better in a debate. And she just has that charisma to her. I think that she would help sway back voters, especially the suburban women that were the 9/11 Bush suburban women that went kind of to Obama, went actually more to McCain and Romney, then went to Clinton, then went to Biden, could shift back to Haley in 2024. So obviously 4th best out of the top 5 at the moment. Let's move on to number 3, Candace Owens. I think Candace Owens has a good shot at the Republican presidency. She's obviously made a big name for herself over the last 4 years, actually, around 4 or 5 years now. She hosts a show, Candace, I believe it's called, on the Daily Wire, which is a conservative news program. Conservative. It's run by Ben Shapiro. Obviously she has multiple viral videos out. A lot of people know she is. She is obviously an outspoken conservative. And, the elephant in the room, she is a black woman who is a conservative. And that is typically not what you would consider conservatives to be demographically. That will help her and help actually gain conservative votes, especially within the black community and within the suburban women community. I think that she could help sway black turnout in Georgia to Republican. She could help win back Georgia. She could help win back suburban women. She could help have a better shot at Virginia, even a state like that. Depends on the candidate. Depends how she runs the campaign. She'll have a good shot at Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, gaining more black support down in the inner cities. Detroit, Michigan, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, has that black support, has a nationwide name recognition, has the nationwide appeal. She does pretty well in debate. She's pretty outspoken. She's well versed, and I do think she has a great shot at being the president. I've had her on VP lists. I'm pretty sure everyone on this list on a VP list, and I do think that Candace Owens has a really good shot, even better than Nikki Haley, because I think that she could resonate more with the Trump base than Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley obviously did not back Trump after January 6th. Candace Owens continued to stand by Trump. Haley seemed to, back off a bit and then get back on the Trump train. Candace remaining loyal, and I think that the Trump supporters would go more to Candace than Haley, and they would be more hesitant to vote for Haley. And obviously, you need the Trump base to come out in a general election that is still a significant and absolute majority part of the Republican Party. So that's necessary. But anyway, let's move on to number 2. Candace Owens at number 3. Still a very good candidate, very electable. Number 2, let's get ahead to ourselves. Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis I have at number 2. Obviously, the incumbent Florida governor. He's made a name for himself with the Republicans and conservatives across the country. He obviously a judge just revoked his policy that is his ban on mask requirements in schools. A judge revoked that, but obviously pushing those conservative policies like the ban on masking in schools, and many other conservative policies. Obviously, he's kept the state open during the coronavirus. I'm pretty sure he banned critical race theory. That's another very important thing in the Republican Party at the moment. They are very much against teaching that in public schools. So, he's continued to put in place legislation, and that's really what he's been continually known for. Another law, I believe, against transitioning for under 18, transgender people under 18. He is against that, and he has put in place laws that will prevent that from happening, doctors from being able to perform surgeries life-changing surgeries for people that want to change their gender. So that's another one for conservatives. So obviously, very much known for that, very much known for implementing political policies and using the political power of conservatives to implement the conservative policies. He talks the talk, he walks the walk. That's something that, obviously conservatives like. He's made a name for himself. He's had a bit of a dip in the approval because of the coronavirus in Florida. But other than that, I don't think the coronavirus will be anything prevalent in 2024, or at least we hope not. And I think that he'll obviously, if he runs and Trump doesn't run, he will win the nomination, and he will have a very good shot at the presidency. He's a pretty good political tactician. He knows how to speak. He knows he knows the jargon. He knows the right words to say. He's very careful with the words. He's very careful with what he does, with how he says things. And I do think that will help him in a general election. And I do think that he'll be able to articulate the Republican values pretty well, especially to suburban women, actually, when he's talking about, we have to, this is another policy he did, when he says, quote, we have to protect the girls' sports, obviously banning transgender people, I guess you could say transgender people who transition from male to female from participating in sports, ban them from that. Obviously, there is a biological difference, a pretty big biological difference. DeSantis got rid of that. And that does actually resonate with suburban women. They do support that. They support restricting that from happening. So he does have that political appeal. And I do think he has a good shot at the presidency from Florida, toss-up state. He's actually gained a lot of popularity in Florida. When you've seen some of those recent polls, he's up 5-6 points in the spread. And he's very popular there. And I do think that he has a nationwide appeal. Could win Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, even Georgia. We'll see what the polling is once the general election comes, and if Trump decides not to run, DeSantis most likely to be the nominee. Anyway, let's get to the number 1 most electable candidate for president of the United States in 2024. Donald Trump. That's who I believe is the most electable candidate in 2024 because he won. He won the election in 2016, so obviously he can win another election. He almost won the 2020 presidential election. If it wasn't up to literally a percent of the vote, if you combined the margins that he lost in the 3 states that he needed to win, Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin, that added up to 1%, 0.5% in Wisconsin, 0.2% in Georgia, and 0.3% in Arizona are the margins that he lost by. You added up, he lost by a total of 1%, by just tens of thousands of votes out of the over 145 million people who voted. He lost by just tens of thousands of votes. with the combination of those two states. He won in 2016. He was the president of the United States. He has that appeal. He can very much win an election in 2024, even after all that's happened. And I'm talking just about, what happened after Biden was pronounced the winner through January, through December, everything that happened since then, still has a very good shot at winning. When he said that, he could shoot someone on 6th, 5th Avenue and he wouldn't lose a supporter, that's true. And I think that carries the day today, whether you think what he's supported has been good or bad since then, that's true. And obviously a lot of people have their opinions on that. He can win a general election. He's very charismatic. He's very good at resonating to what you would call the common people, the common man. And I guess talking up, getting after what you would call the elites or the elite class. And he does have that tremendous appeal, and he can still very much win a general election. He's won the election before he can win it again, and he was very close in the one that he lost. So my number one still remains Donald Trump. I know a lot of people may think, no, we need to move on, or Republicans need to move on from Donald Trump being the nominee or from the party. But I think that he remains a very, very strong nominee for the Republicans, and that it would be very good and in their favor to nominate him, and then he could pick a vice presidential nominee that would even help him have a better shot at the presidency. And even after everything that's gone on through the Biden administration, especially leading up to Afghanistan, he's in very good shape to run a campaign, and I do believe he will run in 2024. He's pretty much made it clear. He said that he can't say anything for financial purposes. Obviously, if you say you're running, you have to release how much money you've raised, and you have to do certain things with the FEC and the SEC or whatever it's called. And he's pretty much implied it. He hasn't said it. If he doesn't run, I'll be a bit surprised. I do think he'll run, but we'll see what happens. I think if he runs, obviously, very good shot at becoming the 47th president of the United States, winning again, because I don't think Biden will run for re-election. I just don't think that that's going to happen. I think Trump has a much better shot at running in 2024 than Biden does. And I don't even know if Harris will succeed Biden, because she's much less popular than Biden, actually, when you look at the approval ratings, even in the Democrat Party. She didn't do too well in the primaries. I think that the Democrat voters may look for a different person. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Tell me what you think of this prediction. Tell me what you think of the list. Please put your own list in the description if you'd like. I am very much interested in seeing your guys' list and comparing. And obviously, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We've gained so many subscribers in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy. We're at 115 subscribers. I remember just a few weeks ago we were at 90, and I made the 100 subscriber special, and now we've even grown farther since then. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. We're only 85 now, away from 200. So let's get there now. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment your list, or comment if you disagree with anything that I said, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching.